On behalf of Alternative Food Network, which produces this podcast, I'm really happy to participate in the third edition of Podcasthon. For 1 week, more than 1,000 podcasts will highlight a charity of their choice. And today, I have the pleasure of welcoming two incredible Kitchenistas from Olivewood Gardens Learning Center. On a personal note, I walked into Olivewood Gardens almost 9 years ago, just after learning about culinary medicine. Olivewood and the Kitchenistas empowered me to do the work I do and gave me the courage to transition from patient care into culinary medicine, education, and consulting fully. The Olivewood Gardens family are my community, my friends, my mentors, and my biggest cheerleaders. Welcome to Culinary Medicine Recipe. I'm so happy you're here. I'm your host, Dr. Sabrina Falquier. I was a primary care doctor for 16 years and went to school for 4 years to specialize in culinary medicine. In this work, I get to combine my passion and expertise in both medicine and food to teach people about food as medicine and to empower them to understand what ingredients optimize health and also how to cook those ingredients to make delicious meals. On this show, I interview top chefs, doctors, healthcare visionaries, and food service professionals who are making great strides in the field of culinary medicine. Join me as we continue to explore the amazing world of culinary medicine, where I will empower you to make changes to your health and wellness with great food right away. This episode would not be possible without Alternative Food Network, which you can follow at Alternative Food Network on Instagram. And these podcasts are also available on their YouTube channel or wherever you listen to your podcasts. They also have a Facebook group called Culinary Medicine Recipe. And now I want to tell you more about Olivewood Gardens. It's a historic 7.85-acre property in National City, California, which is part of San Diego County, which serves as an interactive indoor-outdoor classroom for children and adults from around the San Diego County. The purpose is to build healthy families and a healthy environment with a focus on education, access, and advocacy. They provide science-based environmental education and nutrition lessons, hands-on gardening and cooking classes, and job skills and leadership development programs for youth, adults, and families. Without further ado, I'm so excited to welcome Kitchenista Cristina, Kitchenista Rosa Maria, two of over 500 Kitchenistas. Bienvenidas. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Sabrina.
I am really happy and I'm so grateful that you're taking the time to be here today, both of you. So I'm going to start, Christina, by asking you, how did Olivewood come into your life?
My kiddo was in TK at the time. This was last year. And they had a nutrition class for the parents. And so I attended. And I just fell in love with the whole philosophy and just the ladies that were there presenting. We had also another lady from the district to give us like a little bit of the school nutrition information. And then the Kitchenistas provided a little demo. And they had like some overnight oats and like a chia pudding. And they were just so welcoming and lovely. And I just love learning. So I signed up to take a Cooking for Salud class to become a Kitchenista at the Olivewood Gardens. And I just fell in love. It was really amazing. And then my kiddo got really sick in April around that time. And she got mono and then she got neutropenia, which is like her blood cells were like non-existent. So it was a very, very scary time. And thankfully, I was able to use the tools that I had and really focus on our nutrition and just, pumping her full of as much vitamin C and veggies and all that healthy stuff. So I think it really helped us just survive, at least mentally, because it gave me the tiniest bit of control that I could have during such a scary time. So I really love taking the classes. The ladies were all just amazing. They were all so lovely. The information was great. We had chefs come in and give classes and demonstrations. We got so much knowledge and information on choosing salt and rethinking our drinks and really trying to focus on a holistic approach to our nutrition and what we are consuming. And so I thought it was just amazing, and I'm so glad that I was able to take that Cooking for Salud class, and now I'm a Kitchenista.
Christina, when you mentioned, because for a lot of our listeners, they may not know, what's the difference between Cooking for Salud and being a Kitchenista?
Well, the Cooking for Salud is an 8-week course where each week there's like a new theme, the salt intake, reading the labels. So each week is going to focus on something different. And then we have someone like you, Dr. Sabrina, come and give us some of that information, and then at the end they cook for us. They prepare us a meal with all the recipes that they talked about, including all the information that they shared. Like, we had a spa water. They showed us how to do our own dressing. So they made this really luxurious salad, but it was so simple yet so delicious. And then that's the whole 8 weeks. And then at the end, you graduate. And then that's when you become a kitchenista and you can volunteer in the garden. And there's just so many opportunities.
Rosa Maria, will you tell us your road into Olivewood Gardens?
Yes, of course. A few years ago, when I was running my family restaurant, I decided to go back to learn nutrition. So I went to nutrition school and I got a certificate as a nutrition consultant. So after I graduate, I thought, what I'm going to do with this? And I couldn't find a job on that because I was running the restaurant in a full time. So I started looking for places where I could share what I learned. So I started Googling, and Google brought me to Olivewood Gardens. So I started doing like demos, and I started helping in the kitchen, and I help kids learning science. So I was volunteering everywhere. So then I saw this group of ladies having fun in the kitchen. So I thought, what is that? And somebody explained me, oh, it's a group of ladies that come and learn different topics to do better in their nutrition. So I thought, oh, I want to be part of that. So then when the opportunity was there, I just joined the Cooking for Salud, and now I'm a kitchenista. So since 2013, I've been part of Olivewood Gardens. So I'm so glad because I share what I learned in nutrition school. I had the opportunity to learn too. So since then, I'm part of the Kitchenistas, and I go to these programs that Olivewood Gardens offers to parents in the schools to have presentation about nutrition and different topics also. I'm just have fun coming to the schools and share all the knowledge that I get from Olivewood Gardens.
I actually walked into Olivewood Gardens the same day as Rosa Maria. We met and realized we were both as wide-eyed and excited about what Olivewood Gardens had to offer. And it's been one of the parts that always strikes me, and I'm imagining it's for you too, is for both of you, how Olivewood, we all come in from whatever our starting point is, and the space really allows us each to take that information, to be empowered, to take that work in whatever, whether it's for ourselves, our family, our community, or even further out. Would you agree with that? How do you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. You just get such a sense of peace and purpose, and I just love it. I really enjoy it.
Rosa Maria, how about you? Any reflections on that?
That is true. So that was my first time volunteering at Olivewood Gardens when I met you there. So since then, it's like this is a great place to come and learn because every time I go there, I learn. So and what I love the most is that they produce their own fresh vegetables, and that is so important for me because my mother died from cancer. So that's what I went also back to nutrition school. It's like I love this place because it's magic.
It really is.
The reflections that you both had that there was some health issue for you, Cristina, Rosa Maria, with your mother, it's not uncommon where something draws you to realize that looking at the food that we're eating makes such a huge effect on our health. And when Olivewood was started, that's actually how it came about, is the Walton family actually donated the land and the house. They have a son who was diagnosed with kidney cancer, and they also turned to food to help part of the treatment process. And he is still alive and well, and he's a wonderful middle-aged man who continues to be a part of the community. And we are so grateful for the Walton family for that initial donation and how much it's evolved since that donation was made 15 years ago. So this is our 15-year anniversary, which is really exciting for Olivewood to see all the different stages, and that they're now 500 Kitchenistas. And there's a few mentions that you've each made about kid programs and the Kitchenista program. I would love to hear from your own words. Now that you are Kitchenista, so you graduate, you go through program, you graduate, you're a Kitchenista. What is available for you to continue your own growth journey?
I start getting interested in bringing all these programs to the schools, to parents that come into Olivewood Gardens and learn how to eat better, how to prepare meals better, how to transform existing recipes to a better recipe, to healthy recipe. And also I have learned just one thing that I learned, and that was very important for me to drink water. It is still hard for me to drink water. So my doctor told me you need to drink more water because you're affecting your kidney. So when I came to Olivewood Gardens, my first thing that I learned is how to drink water, just by putting a piece of lemon or a piece of aromatic herb like mint or a piece of cucumber that changed the taste of water. So I could drink more water, and I drink more water that way, just by adding something that changed the taste of the water.
It sounds so basic, and I love that you're emphasizing it, because that's often an area that people have a hard time with. So, Rosa Maria, I really appreciate you sharing that. Cristina, what about you? Remind us when you went through the program, and what are aspects that you feel are still kind of connecting you, or what are seeds that were planted that you feel are still with you since you did the program?
I finished the program last August, and the first class that they had, like a development for us, for just the Kitchenistas once we graduated, it was the how to make a sourdough, how to make the starter, and how to make the bread. And that was actually one of my goals for last year. I really wanted to learn how to do sourdough. I really wanted, the benefits of having the starter and just making bread that would be easier to digest for our family. And I was a little intimidated. I read a bunch of books on how to start it. I watched a bunch of Instagram reels, and it seemed so easy, but I was so intimidated. And thankfully they had that class, and I was like, I'm signing up, that I need that class. And it was so great. They showed us exactly how to do it, and he gave us like 20 grams at the end of the class, and I still have it. And this morning I made my girls waffles and pancakes. So it kind of lasts us a good while, and it's just been really, really great. And they have lots of classes like that for us once you graduate, and lots of opportunities to volunteer. And the school one is definitely on my list. Hopefully I can start helping out with that. And they also have cooking classes for the kids at the garden, so I'm definitely signing up for those.
What's amazing about these programs is that they're free for the participants. So going through Cooking for Salud, it's all donation-based and different grants that have been given. So all the participants that go through Cooking for Salud become Kitchenistas, and the programs that Cristina is talking about and Rosa Maria also are all free for the Kitchenistas. And that is such an amazing resource from the community to really help, as Rosa Maria mentioned, the chronic diseases like diabetes and obesity. And what's really cool is, I know we've been talking about the food, but we know that unless you work on aspects beyond the food, there's going to be a stopping point. And when we talk about the Kitchenistas and these meetings, Rosa Maria and Cristina, would you reflect on how being a part of the Kitchenista community has really affected you? Just one anecdotal that you could say that's really helped empower you in your life journey.
There's just so many. My girls kind of started out to be picky eaters, and I think taking the Cooking for Salud classes really helped me involve them in the cooking, and just trying to add as many veggies as you can. If you can believe it or not, I took them to the zoo the other day, and they were snacking on broccoli, and I took a picture of them. And my mom texted her siblings and everything, like, can you believe these girls are just snacking on like just roasted broccoli? And it was just an amazing feeling, because I felt like a few years ago that would have never happened. And so now they're more involved. They're like trying foods a little more adventurously. And that, I think, is everything a parent could ask for, especially with like little ones that are very picky. And it's been really great.
Adventurous eaters. That is definitely a goal of Olivewood. How about you, Rosa Maria? What would you say is kind of a top?
Well, like Cristina says, there's so many things that I have learned from Olivewood Gardens, but it gave me confidence, a lot of confidence on cooking. And also, it gave me the confidence to switch. If I don't have one ingredient, I can try a different ingredient. So that way, I've been trying different ingredients from different cultures, and I just keep what I really like. So it's a lot of confidence in when I cook. Yeah.
And I want to share with our audience that Rosa Maria hasn't mentioned this, but when we do the events after people are Kitchenistas, it is many of them are Kitchenistas to Kitchenistas. And Rosa Maria has taught some of those classes to her peers. And she is amazing. One of my favorite soups actually is one of your recipes, Rosa Maria. So thank you for your wisdom and sharing that recipe. And the other part that I just want to emphasize is some of the Kitchenistas, some of the courses are cooking related, but some of the courses that are brought to Olivewood and the Kitchenistas are about learning public speaking or getting a safe handler's license to be able to work in food service. We ask the Kitchenistas what are resources that would be helpful for the growth of each individual. And some of the Kitchenistas are actually now employees of Olivewood. They're board members. They're elected officials in the National City area. And it's also caused changes to the school district because there's now a full collaboration. Like Rosa Maria, you've mentioned some of the demonstrations that are done. And Cristina, how that was your way in.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years of an entire program and has been created where some of the employees of Olivewood actually work in the schools. So there's a full collaboration between Olivewood and the entire school district of that area. And Olivewood is actually one of the organizational members of the National Teaching Kitchen Collaborative. So really looking at this work locally here in National City, California, which is part of San Diego County, but also on a nationwide and international level, which is just absolutely fabulous. Now, what would you say are kind of your goals? I always think of it as a ripple effect. So this might help you with how you answer this question. When you go through Olivewood, you're learning perhaps how to enjoy vegetables more and how to maybe go from having boiled broccoli to roasted broccoli and how that helps you enjoy it more. So then maybe you're bringing it to your household. And we talk about that ripple effect. What would you say as you look forward that you want to either bring to Olivewood or into your larger community?
Well, for me, I really want to give back and I want to go and help and volunteer when they do those Cooking for Salud classes because I just truly enjoy them. So I really want to keep that going and encourage someone else. But selfishly, in the future, once my little ones are older, I would love to work there. It just seems like such a fabulous place to work. Just the environment, the people there are just absolutely the most kindest people I've ever met. And maybe someday.
My dream also is to work at Olivewood Gardens just because the whole place, the people that works in there is very kind, a lot of kindness there, and it's like very good energy. So, and also, I've been volunteer since 2013, and I don't want to quit that. So volunteering and hopefully one day to work for Olivewood Gardens.
There's a vision that has been brought up with Olivewood, and I want to just say it out loud because there's a sense that I had, just like Cristina, Rosa Maria, when I walked in there and learned about Cooking for Salud. I went through the program with the Cooking for Salud participants through all the weeks, and the sense that it really isn't a triangle. It's not like one person up feeding below. It's really a circle where we're each helping each other be our best selves, figure out things we might not even know that we love or want from our lives, personally or career-wise. And I've always been so struck. And for me personally, with my career, every single Kitchenista and Kitchenisto that I've met at Olivewood is to see each other as humans going through our lives and waking up and seeing where are we drawn towards. And I also would agree, Rosa Maria, that Olivewood is a truly enchanting place. I'm curious if one of you is willing to share. What I'm struck by is if you're driving there, what's the difference when you get off the freeway to when you arrive to Olivewood? If either of you be willing to paint a picture for our listeners of what that vision is like.
It looks so cute and cozy and cottage-like, and there's like a giant I think it's like 100-year-old tree. And then the house is so cute and it's just peaceful. You get a real sense of peace there.
I want to add, yes, and surrounding that area, not too far away, you are amongst many fast food joints, freeway, car dealerships. And that's one of the pieces that always strikes me is how you get off the freeway and you're going through this not much greenery and you go, quarter of a mile east of the freeway and all of a sudden you're in the oasis that Christina, you just described so beautifully. So
it's perfectly hidden, but it's great when you get there.
Yes. So as we finish up, is there anything that I haven't asked you or that you haven't shared about Olivewood or being a Kitchenista that you want our listeners to hear? Rosa Maria, we'll start with you.
Well, I just want to share my first time that I went there and teach a class because it was very important for me at that time. My first class that I taught there, it was about kefir water. And not many people knows the little tibicos. And it was so exciting for me because when I was little, we drink kefir water a lot. And my mother believed that this water made you younger and stronger. So I wanted everybody to know about that. So it was exciting for me because that was my dream to like teach what I learned. And also I noticed that we have forgotten many traditions, many foods that we used to eat when I was little. A lot of recipes have been forgotten. And my dream was, or is still, to bring back, because I think many people said that Mexican food especially is not so good, is fattening. But when I think about Mexican food, I think about the food that I was eating when I was little. And I think that's the real Mexican food. So my dream is to bring back all those traditions.
Anybody that has the opportunity to go, check it out. They have lots of family events too. They have classes for little kids where they teach them about the garden. And I think I took my kiddos a few years back before I got involved with it. And they gave us a tour and they ate blueberries right off the little blueberry bush. And it was just a lot of fun. So they have lots of events. Check it out online and come visit.
Thank you both so much. This has been an absolute pleasure. And mil gracias por quienes son y por tomar el tiempo para compartir su historia. Un abrazo a las dos. Thank you so much for who you are and for taking the time to share your stories. Big hugs to you both.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And don't forget to come and visit Olivewood Gardens.
To learn more about Olivewood Gardens and Learning Center or to get involved or donate, please visit their website at www.olivewoodgardens.org or find them on social media at Olivewood Gardens. And that wraps up this episode as part of Podcasthon. If you enjoyed it, feel free to visit www.podcasthon.org to discover hundreds of other associations through the voices and talents of amazing podcasters. If you want to hear more, please remember to follow Culinary Medicine Recipe on your favorite podcast listening platform. Until next time, salud and bon appetit. All content provided or opinions expressed in this episode are for informational purposes only and are not a substitute for professional medical advice. Please seek advice from your doctor or other qualified healthcare professional.